Hi, my name is John Navolis. I'm an ordained minister with the International Pentecostal Holiness Church. I served at Olivet Lakes Pentecostal Holiness Church for 3 years before I had to resign this past summer due to a requirement to fulfill an internship with Regent University. During that internship, I served at Wings of Faith Chapel on Coast Guard Base Elizabeth City under Chaplain Mike Wise. And since the internship has ended, I've continued on attending at the Wings of Faith Chapel and helping out Chaplain Wise as I can with different sermons and different responsibilities as they come up. The Lord has called me initially in 2012. That is when I was saved. I was baptized in a non-denominational church. God pulled me out of a position of skepticism and even self-proclaimed atheism to come and serve Him. It was a very surprise that happened for me at that time, but He just sent the right words and the right messages at the right time. Since that time, I've continued to serve in the Coast Guard, and I served as a Virginia Beach firefighter for 6 years. I felt from the very beginning, from the day I was called, I felt the words of John 15:13, that a person has no greater love than to lay down his life for his brother. And I've lived that out in fire service and in Coast Guard service. But over time, I've recognized that the Lord is calling me to something more than just saving somebody temporally here on earth, that He's calling me to call people to eternity in His name. And so I find that I now see that God has prepared me throughout my entire life, even before I knew Him, for just such a time as this. He's given me opportunities in the Coast Guard to learn to become an instructor and a teacher. He's given me the opportunities to serve others. And through those opportunities, I see now that I've been in ministry, that He's given me the spiritual giftings of teaching, preaching, and service. And so over the years in my time in ministry, I've been able to serve as a mentor, a youth leader, and ultimately as a pastor. I'm looking forward to serving in chaplaincy because I can take all of these skill sets and bring them together into this one gifting and serve our service members above all else. I was initially called to the International Pentecostal Holiness Church during the COVID pandemic. Our church that we were attending, my wife and I were attending at the time, closed down. And so we looked for another church and we wound up at Fountain of Life. That church is part of our conference. And there I was able to become a youth leader. I found out about their school of ministry. I started pursuing school of ministry. And ultimately we found both my wife and I were Holy Spirit baptized there, and we were activated in the Holy Spirit. And that's really where we had our launching point into becoming pastors at Olivet Lakes Pentecostal Holiness Church for those 3 years. God is calling me and leading me into Air Force chaplaincy because He's opened this door wide. Initially, chaplaincy came up by a conversation with Chaplain Wise. About 2 years ago, we were trying to get a young lady baptized in the river, and the only access to the river was on base in Elizabeth City. I was trying to figure out how to get 30 plus people onto the base with only one ID card. Unfortunately, Chaplain Wise was able to help me out with that. But more importantly, he introduced me to this idea of chaplaincy, and I could see the Lord open the door that day. Since then, I immediately went back to school when I found out that there was a requirement beyond my initial master's degree. I went back to school and took a focus in chaplaincy, and I found in each class I just learned more and more and felt more and more called to this service. I feel that the Lord is calling me specifically to the Air Force. I look at the Air Force core values, and I can see my values in that integrity first, that we have to serve our service members with integrity, both to our faith and to the service. That this is a calling of service over self. It reminds me of Matthew 20:28, when Jesus said that He came to serve and not be served. So we want to serve the members the best that we can, even putting our own needs sometimes behind the needs of the service members to make sure they're well taken care of. The Air Force provides a unique high demand and high consequence environment that requires us to go in and make sure that the members are taken care of no matter what the situation. And then, of course, we want to pursue all of this in excellence as unto the Lord. I'm very excited for the opportunity to serve in the Air Force Chaplain Corps, and I thank you for your consideration.